And off we go from Denver. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And incomplete on the deep ball.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Second and 10 now from the 27. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They'll look to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Slot man moves right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 9. Nix from the shotgun. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Cameron Sample, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a 1st down.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Burrow on play action. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. What good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick. thus inaccurate, incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's Burrow. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies will try and force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Nix to the air. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the 1st quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
The Broncos send out their punter now. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They defer to Brown to start the drive. Down the sideline he goes. Inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Chase Brown, 61 yards. And the Bengals are able to answer the early 3 points and take a 1st quarter lead.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The drive will commence. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. To throw is Nix. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. It'll be a gain of 5. And 3rd and 1 now.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Off the play fake, Nix. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
They'll go play action with Nix. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, here's Nix. This one complete. It's Devon Vele. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. He gets this underneath to Dobbins, and he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are once again back in front. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Oh, a good return up past the 30. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Burrow. That's caught. Andre Yoshivas.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, You're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2 yards to go, second down. To throw, here's Nix. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
The give is to McLaughlin.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive.
Now it's Nix.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Cincinnati set to take over once again.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now Burrow.
Connecting on the out route here with Higgins.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Burrow will throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
To the air again, Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 27. Throwing again, it's Burrow.
This one complete to Yoshivas.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Play action. It's Burrow.
Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals have moved out in front.
And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And that makes it 14-10. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. On the handoff, McLaughlin.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Throwing Nix. Open man right side is Ingram. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Off the play fake, here's Nix. The Bengal pressure gets him that time, down he goes. It was Miles Murphy who fired in and got him to the ground. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. To throw is Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process, and really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Nix from the shotgun. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass. Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart that way, feeling so accurate, so confident going downfield, and then able to culminate by putting it in the end zone, oh, yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
Now he'll try to carry that over to this drive. Burrow looking to pass. And this will be caught by Brown. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Now a give left side, Brown with it. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's McLaughlin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burned the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, you know what they say about the best laid plans, partner. I mean, this one was totally foiled. They played for the pass. The idea was if you want to run it, that's fine. We'll rally up and make the tackle, except they didn't get it done.
Yeah, 3rd and long and a big run there. How about that? And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a 1-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this 2nd half as they trail, and we are back underway.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying, but nothing that they have done has worked so far.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Nix to the air. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A short throw to Ingram, and they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Burrow.
Hits his target. That's Charlie Jones.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow.
And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And Burrow going to throw again. Caught by Jones. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
And he is caught. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That'll give them 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Burrow will throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And coming out now, the Broncos. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the 1st down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And that's going to be caught by Sutton.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 33 yards that time.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Off the play fake, Nix.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
To throw, here's Nix.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 19. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now it's Nix.
And Sutton hauls it in over the middle.
And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
The slot man in motion right.
A fake on the jet sweep and a give to Dobbins.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Joseph Offside
in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix.
And the pressure gets to him again. A disastrous loss there on 1st and goal on the sack sets him back big time.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good, and they have regained the lead. So it's his 3rd field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back and forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now a 2nd and 2.
This is Brown going up the middle. Gets past one man. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
85 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? And
yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why don't I just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Touchdown, Bengals.
T. Higgins.
30 yards.
And the Bengals have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
He's got it, and it's now a 21-16 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed, right?
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
A carry from McLaughlin. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Throwing Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and a yard. They'll go play action with Nix.
And he slings one that's incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going for it with Dobbins. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marvin Mims, 51 yards. And the Broncos use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Oren Burks.
Do you have one of those charts that tells you to go for 2 or go for 1?
I don't. I know you do, but I don't care what the chart says there. You got to kick it, right?
I agree totally, because somewhere the chart's something's gonna pop out of the chart and say, hey man, just kick the extra point here. You're in good shape. I think they were chasing points there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, try to get a little bit greedy, take the lead in the 4th quarter. Now they still trail by 1. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter, and a chance to...
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle, a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose.
The Broncos are about set to go on offense. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim 4th quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down and 4. They'll run. It's McLaughlin.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
107 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now.
Now Dobbins.
And he loses the football the second time. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
What a big fourth quarter fumble recovery a moment ago, and now they are set up with a chance to take the lead. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose, and is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So crisis averted, but now facing third and goal.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This to get the lead up to 4. The kick by Lutz is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And bulldozing his way through.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This will be caught by Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard.
To the air again, Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try to run the ball here with Sutton.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Nix to the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So winds up a very smart decision to throw the flag. They reset the spot, and now that's a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
To throw is Nix.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
And I don't think he got there, no. Geez, short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Draw play for Brown. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
91 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Here's Burrow.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity. Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
The give is to McLaughlin. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.